What is the mood of the Alabama fan base? Nick Saban's gone. He's still with us. He's just not coaching there anymore. Kalen DeBoer's in. What is the mood of the Alabama fan base? Not the radical 10% either way, but the middle 80. What's the mood? I think the mood could best be described as, well, come take it. There is a widely held thought out there, outside of Tuscaloosa, that now that Nick Saban's gone, Bama just comes back to the pack, and they're just another pretty good to really good program. And here are three important words, three really important words that I want you to remember. Saban never faded. I'll revisit that in a second. Yeah, they lost a legend there. Nick Saban, greatest to ever do it, or at the very least one of the greatest to ever do it. They may have gone and gotten the next one. This is the mood of the Alabama fan base, whether you buy into it or not. Many will doubt. That's the entire point. So if you doubt, if you call Kalen DeBoer's validity into question, if you don't think they'll recruit at a high level, all the things that are being said right now, you're probably saying a lot of them. The mood there is, okay, well, come and take it. Because the conference has come through Tuscaloosa for the last decade and a half. And so if you're going to take that alpha position, that's the way you do it. You come take it. Georgia would argue they have. Bama would say, well, you're 1-4 against Saban, so now we got a new guy here. You come to our building this year, come take it, which is a beautiful attitude, by the way, because that's what sports are about. Have we ever seen a better situation get inherited? I was talking to a head coach this spring, and he was looking around college football at some of the guys who have been fired and other ones who have succeeded, and he said, man, people don't understand how to properly assess the situation that gets inherited. Some places, a guy gets fired, but he leaves a really talented roster. He just underachieved with it. And the next guy swoops in, and he all of a sudden just, boom, knocks it out of the park immediately, and everyone says, oh, look at that turnaround. Well, it's not as big a turnaround as it looks on the surface. Conversely, you may have a guy that's great, but he comes in and takes over a dead-in-the-water situation, and he's not given enough time to reboot it. This right here is as good a situation as you could ever inherit. I thought one of the most laughable talking points out there was, dude, no one's going to want to step in after Nick Saban. As long as Saban didn't fade, as long as Nick Saban didn't stick around 7 years past his prime, as long as he didn't let the program slip into roster rot, then there were a lot of folks out there who were going to want to take that job, especially alpha competitors. If you look and you know the infrastructure is still top-notch, the roster is still top-notch, the network of operation and what it takes to win in this sport is still top-notch, the support staff is great, brand visibility second to none. What's the downside? Well, sir, someone said on a talk radio show that you may be scared of taking over for a legend. That's not how they think. They want to know the situationals. They want to know that they have all those boxes checked. Kalen DeBoer does. Who's ever inherited a more ready-made-to-win situation? In major college football, Ryan Day comes to mind. Kirby didn't even inherit this good a situation, and he went to Georgia after Mark Richt, and the situation wasn't even this good. Saban never faded. Those are three of the most important words I want you to remember, because that's at the forefront of the attitude there. Saban stepped away still in his prime. Nick Saban literally was an overtime away from playing for a national championship and then retired. So the program didn't fade. All due respect, you weren't looking at a Bobby Bowden situation. You're looking at Saban, who could still do it 5 more years if he wanted to, at a very high level, but he stepped away, which means he got the plane going 500 miles an hour and then parachuted out, but he handed you the stick before he did. Now, if you crash it, you crash it. But if you crash it, it'll be because you weren't good enough. It won't be because it was in a nosedive when you already took over. The attitude should be nothing less in Alabama than we're going to stay on top until someone comes and takes it from us. So they play Georgia in week 4. They go to Wisconsin the week before. They play Georgia in week 4. I don't know what the context will be down the road, let's say 2028, but people will still be talking about that Georgia game in week 4 this year in 2028. Now, it may be that Georgia has long since disposed of Alabama and they are the unequivocal king of college football at that point, and they say, remember that day in September of 2024? That's when we really drove a dagger through the heart of Alabama. Could be saying that. You could be saying, remember when Saban stepped away Georgia comes in as about a field goal favorite in Bryant-Denny, and they think that's going to be the moment that they permanently ascend to the top, and then we beat them, and it was just more of the same, and they had to constantly keep us in the corner of their eye. Who knows? Who knows how we're talking about it? That is why they play the games. We're less than 100 days away from that, by the way.